Imagine this. It's 2005. A group of criminals has just pulled off one of the most daring heists the world has ever seen. They have targeted one of Brazil's most secure banks, and their method? A 78-meter tunnel straight into its vault. With $70 million stolen without triggering a single alarm, the nation reels, and the world is left with one burning question. How did they bypass one of the most advanced security systems? And what drove these masterminds to attempt such a bold crime? This investigation delves into the Banco Central burglary, diving into the details of this audacious heist and exploring the criminals behind it, and the shocking precision that makes one of the most notorious heists in history possible. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we take you along this journey. In the world of infamous crimes, some heists are remembered not for their violence, but for their sheer brilliance. The Banco Central burglary in Brazil, taking place in 2005, is widely hailed as one of the most daring and ingenious robberies in history. Unlike impulsive crimes, this heist was the result of meticulous planning for months, or perhaps even years of preparation. Can you imagine this entire heist was made possible through a tunnel? The thieves carefully engineered a sophisticated tunnel 78 meters long that snaked its way beneath the ground, leading directly to the heart of the bank's vault. With precision and patience, they bypassed the high-tech security systems, gaining access to millions in cash. This meticulously planned operation wasn't just about theft. It was a calculated move to outsmart one of Brazil's most secure institutions. The robbery not only left law enforcement scratching their heads, but it also became a sensation in the media, sparking the imagination of people around the world. Could this be the perfect crime? It is important to remember that the Banco Central in Fortaleza was no ordinary bank. As one of Brazil's most secure financial institutions, it was specifically designed to withstand such sophisticated criminal attempts. The vault was not just located deep underground, it was also surrounded by an impressive array of security measures that included alarms, surveillance cameras, and 1.1 meters of steel-reinforced concrete. Can an ordinary person like you imagine escaping this? The vault's thick, reinforced walls were thought to be nearly impossible to breach. Inside the vault sat millions of untraceable banknotes, making it a prime target for any theft. Given the strength of the vault's security and the advanced measures in place, the Banco Central was considered virtually untouchable. Security systems beginning from the unescapable physical barriers to the electronic alarms meant that any breach would be detected immediately. Yet despite the measures, the vault became the target of one of the most audacious criminal operations ever seen. So one thing was for certain, the criminals behind the heist would not rely on brute force or violence. Instead, they would use intelligence, meticulous planning, and expert engineering to pull off the unimaginable. So what was the expert engineering like? Comment your thoughts below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as the mystery unfolds. The group behind the Banco Central burglary was not made up of run-of-the-mill criminals. They were not just burglars. They were highly skilled individuals with specialized knowledge in engineering, construction, and even security systems. Their ability to plan such an elaborate crime was indeed no accident. Over the course of several months, they laid groundwork for what would be one of the most complex heists in history. The burglars began by renting a modest property in the vicinity of the Banco Central. This allowed them to devise a simple yet effective cover story, a landscaping business. Now, what was the business exactly like? On the surface, it seemed entirely legitimate, a small operation offering services like gardening, lawn care, and outdoor maintenance. Behind this seemingly ordinary facade, the criminals uncovered the perfect cover to transport everything they needed: loads of soil, sharp tools, and even heavy machinery into their hidden base. Every delivery blended seamlessly into the mundane, ensuring no one suspected the operation unfolding right under their noses. While the landscaping business served as a cover, the real work took place underground. Over the course of 3 months, the burglars dug a tunnel 78 meters long that stretched from their rented property directly to the vault of the Banco Central. This was not a simple hole in the ground. It was a highly engineered passageway that required precision, planning, and technical expertise. The tunnel was reinforced with wood and plastic to prevent collapse, and it was equipped with its own lighting and ventilation systems, ensuring that the thieves could work efficiently and safely. The level of sophistication was unlike anything seen in previous heists. This operation required not only skillful engineering, but also immense patience. The criminals had to carefully avoid detection while working in a confined space, assuring that they were far enough from the watchful eyes of the bank's security systems. To make this heist a success, they worked tirelessly, keeping their movements hidden from the authorities and local community. It was clear that this was not a spur-of-the-moment crime. It was the result of a carefully planned operation. The night of August 6th, 2005, had finally arrived, an evening long awaited by the cunning burglars, who were now poised to put their meticulous crafted plan into action. The night was chosen for its perfect cover. The darkness allowed them to move undetected and carry out their actions with precision. The operation had been so carefully orchestrated that every move was calculated and deliberate. The burglars began their work just as the last of the bank employees left for the night. The first task was to neutralize the bank's extensive security systems. The vault was supposed to be foolproof, with alarms, motion sensors, and cameras guarding it. But the burglars weren't fazed by this high-tech security. They knew exactly how to bypass these systems and carry out the heist without being caught. Putting the plan in motion, they initially disabled the alarm systems and then proceeded to neutralize the cameras, ensuring that the vault would be left completely unprotected during the heist. Now with the security systems offline, the burglars proceeded to their most challenging task, which was breaching the reinforced concrete wall of the vault. The 1.1 meter thick concrete had been designed to withstand almost any kind of intrusion. For most thieves, breaking through thick concrete would seem impossible, but these criminals were different. They came prepared. Armed with the right tools and a quiet, calculated approach, they worked tirelessly, inch by inch, chipping away at the wall. With every strike, they inched closer to their goal, fully aware that one wrong move could ruin everything. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of careful, silent work, the moment of truth arrived. The burglars had successfully breached the seemingly impenetrable wall. As they stepped inside, the sight before them was nothing short of astonishing. Piles upon piles of cash. Millions of reals stacked in neat bundles, waiting to be claimed. The rooms smelled of money, an irresistible treasure that had been sitting undisturbed for years. Can you imagine the adrenaline rush they must have felt? This was their moment. The heist was going as perfectly as they had planned. The burglars quickly focused on the highest denomination bills, knowing they were the easiest to carry and less traceable. With each bag they filled, they moved swiftly and strategically, aware that time was running out. Every minute brought them closer to success, but also closer to getting caught. Their movements were precise, but the pressure was mounting with each passing moment. In total, the burglars made off with approximately 160 million reals, around $70 million at the time. The heist was so meticulously planned, by the time the employees arrived at the bank on Monday morning, the burglars had vanished. The vault stood empty, and the only evidence left behind was the tunnel, which led back to the rented property. The burglars had executed the heist flawlessly, and the bank was left reeling in disbelief. The discovery of the heist sent shockwaves throughout Brazil and beyond. Law enforcement authorities were stunned not only by the amount of money stolen, but by the sheer sophistication of the operation. The burglars' ability to bypass Banco Central's sophisticated security systems with such precision left everyone asking the same question. How could even the most advanced measures fail against such a daring plan? Soon the Brazilian federal police did what they had to and immediately launched an extensive investigation into the crime. Investigators descended upon the crime scene, determined to piece together the puzzle of this audacious heist. Soil samples from the tunnel were carefully extracted, with each grain holding a potential clue to the burglars' methods. Tools abandoned in haste whispered secrets of their craft, but would they reveal enough? Surveillance footage from nearby streets was scrutinized frame by frame, but could it hold the key to identifying the masterminds behind the operation? Every clue felt like progress, yet the ultimate question remained. Would these fragments of evidence be enough to unmask the architects of this extraordinary crime? There is no doubt that the investigators' task was daunting. The tunnel had been expertly constructed, and the criminals had gone to great lengths to cover their tracks. The surveillance footage from the area offered little to go on, leaving investigators at a dead end. But the story didn't stop there. Police turned to the locals, asking questions and piecing together scattered details. Bit by bit, seemingly unimportant clues began to form a picture. Could these small leads point them to the masterminds behind the heist? Despite relentless efforts by law enforcement, tracking down the stolen money proved a near impossible task. The criminals had hidden the cash in a maze of international accounts, leaving no trace behind. Slowly but surely, authorities began to close in on the gang members. Several were arrested, many of whom had been crucial players in orchestrating the heist. But the masterminds? It was evident that they had slipped through the cracks, leaving everyone to wonder, would they ever be brought to justice? The investigation eventually recovered around $8 million of the stolen funds, but the vast majority of the money was never found. Speculation ran rampant about where the money might be hidden. Some believed that it had been laundered through offshore accounts or stored in secret locations. while others suspected that it was buried or stashed away in a location that would never be discovered. Despite the partial recovery of the stolen funds, the heist exposed significant vulnerabilities in the financial system. Banks and financial institutions worldwide took notice, using the Banco Central burglary as a case study to reevaluate their security measures. The crime was a wake-up call, demonstrating that even the most advanced security systems could be compromised by meticulous planning and technical expertise. As the years go by, the mystery of the Banco Central burglary only grows more intriguing. Most of the stolen money is still missing, sparking wild theories about where it could be. Some believe it's hidden away in secret locations, while others think it's being funneled through international networks, out of reach. The masterminds behind the heist remain unknown. While a few gang members were caught, the true culprits are still at large, always one step ahead. The Banco Central burglary continues to haunt investigators. Will the truth behind this audacious crime ever fully be revealed? Let us know your thoughts below. The Banco Central burglary is a story of more than just stolen money. It's a bold testament to the lengths people will go to achieve their goals, even when facing impossible odds. The criminals didn't just break into a vault. They outsmarted one of the most secure systems in the world. Despite arrests and partial recovery, the real culprits roam freely today. Hence, the legacy of this heist endures, reminding us that no matter how secure a system may seem, there will always be those ready to exploit its weaknesses, leaving us all to take a minute and ponder. What does it take to truly protect what's most valuable? If you enjoyed this thrilling burglary mystery, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.